Coco Gauff leads U.S. past Greece in United Cup quarterfinals. After a singles loss and some social media controversy earlier in the week, Coco Gauff let her tennis do the talking on Wednesday in the United Cup quarterfinals. Gauff defeated Maria Sakkari 6-3, 6-2, giving the defending champion United States a 1-0 lead over Greece, News.az reports, citing ESPN. Taylor Fritz will have the chance to follow up in singles against Stefanos Tsitsipas, with the winner advancing the Americans to the semifinals in Sydney on Saturday. Earlier in the week, Gauff posted on social media just before her singles match, aiming to clarify her recent remarks about American tennis fans. The ensuing match didn't go well for the number 4 ranked Gauff, who lost the first 5 games and struggled in a 6-1, 6-7, 3, 6-0 loss to number 42 Jessica Buses-Monero. But Fritz won his singles match and Gauff and Christian Harrison combined in mixed doubles to clinch top spot in Group A and advance the Americans to the quarterfinals. "I think I was striking the ball well today, and when that happens, my movement on the court is also good," Gauff said Wednesday. "I usually know it's going to be a good day." In a night quarterfinal at Perth, Stan Wawrinka, playing in his farewell tour this year before retiring, was scheduled to lead Switzerland against Argentina. At Sydney, Hubert Hurkacz and Iga Swiatek were victorious in their singles matches to give Poland a winning 2-0 lead over Netherlands and a place in the quarterfinals from Group F. Under the lights of the United Cup quarterfinal, the court gleamed like a stage set for something larger than tennis, something stitched together from national pride, youthful audacity, and the quiet resolve of a team that believed it belonged exactly where it stood. At the center of it all was Coco Gauff, racket in hand, shoulders squared not just with expectation but with purpose, leading the United States past Greece in a contest that felt as much about spirit as it did about scorelines. The United Cup has a way of bending time. It is not just a tournament, it is a meeting point where individual ambition dissolves into collective responsibility. Players who spend most of the year alone, traveling city to city with coaches and entourages, suddenly wear the same colors, share the same bench, and chase the same outcome. On this night, the American red, white, and blue seemed to pulse with energy, and Gauff was its most visible current. She walked onto the court with the calm of someone who has learned, early in life, how to carry noise without letting it rattle her bones. Still so young, yet already seasoned by Grand Slam finals, by expectation, by the strange experience of growing up in public. There was no swagger, only focus. Her eyes tracked the baseline, the net, the space where points would be built and broken. Across the net stood Greece, a nation whose tennis identity in recent years has been defined by flair, fire, and fearless shot-making. They were not there by accident. They had earned their quarterfinal place with grit and belief, and they brought with them the dangerous freedom of a team that thrives on momentum. This was never going to be a walkover. It was going to be a conversation, racket to racket, heart to heart. From the opening games, Gauff set the tone. Her movement was elastic, stretching wide to retrieve shots that looked like winners before they left her opponent's strings. Each rally became a small test of patience. She didn't rush. She constructed points the way a composer builds a melody, layer by layer, shot by shot, until the moment came to strike. When it did, the sound of the ball off her racket cracked through the stadium like punctuation. But this was not a story of domination alone. Greece answered back, pushing, probing, refusing to yield the emotional high ground. There were moments when the match tightened, when a single point felt like it could tilt the entire tie. In those moments, Gauff's expression barely changed. She bounced the ball. She breathed. She trusted her work. Trust is a powerful thing in tennis. There is no hiding place, no teammate to pass the ball to when doubt creeps in. Yet in this team format, there is something else. A bench that leans forward, voices that rise in unison, flags that wave not just as symbols but as promises. Every time Gauff glanced toward her teammates, she saw belief reflected back at her. And she gave it right back, point after point. Her victory was not just a win on the scoreboard, it was a statement. It said that leadership is not about age or volume, but about steadiness. About showing up when the moment demands it. About understanding that your performance ripples outward, shaping the confidence of everyone around you. When the Americans stepped back onto the court for the remaining matches of the tie, they did so with an invisible advantage. Gauff had given them momentum, yes, but more than that, she had given them clarity. The path forward felt possible. Greece fought hard, refusing to let the night slip away quietly, but the United States had found its rhythm. Points began to fall their way. Games followed. The quarterfinal tilted, slowly but surely, toward red, white, and blue. By the time the final point was played, the outcome felt earned rather than inevitable. The United States had not overpowered Greece. They had outlasted them. They had absorbed the pressure, matched the intensity, and then raised it just enough to break through. And at the heart of it all was Coco Gauff, whose performance anchored the tie and set its emotional tempo. Afterward, as handshakes were exchanged and applause rolled down from the stands, Gauff's smile finally broke free, wide, genuine, unguarded. It was the smile of someone who understands the weight of the moment and chooses to enjoy it anyway. A smile that suggested this was not an ending, but a continuation. The beauty of the United Cup lies in nights like this. Nights when tennis feels communal, when the line between individual brilliance and collective triumph blurs. Nights when a young star steps forward not just as a champion, but as a leader. Coco Gauff did that against Greece. She didn't just win a match, she carried a team across a threshold. As the United States moved on from the quarterfinals, the echoes of that night lingered, of sliding footwork, clenched fists, shared laughter, and the unmistakable sense that something special was building. In the long arc of a season, this may be remembered as just one tie. But for those who watched, for those who felt the tension and release of each point, it was more than that. It was a reminder that the future of American tennis is not waiting politely off stage. It is already here, taking the ball early, running down impossible shots, and leading with quiet confidence. And on this night, under bright lights and higher expectations, Coco Gauff showed exactly what that future looks like.